Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and this is the recap review for Our Kind of People. So this episode was a really, really good episode. Oh my god, all the episodes have been amazing, but I'm just saying it is what it is. So the episode started out with Angela's baby daddy. He's in prison. He done been there. And so he's like, oh, so after 17 years, now she need a daddy. So he's trying to understand what's going on. Now, I'm trying to remember if what he was reciting to her was a poem or something that might have been stated by somebody. I really feel like it is, but it's not registering in my mind. Y'all let me know down in the comment section. I greatly appreciate that because my mind be going into overtime and sometimes I do check out, and I have been very out of it lately. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like, I've just been thinking of my mama and my uncle and my cousin, and it's just too much going on. But basically was talking about how the black woman got they foot on the neck and all this other stuff. I was like, wait, sir. So anyway, he done set it off. So I was like, child, not you setting it off like this in the I was about to say the church house. I'm so used to saying in the church house. In the jailhouse, the went off. So everybody wondering where she at. She done got back to the place, and she was like, oh, I had an errand I had to run. This heifer done forgot she had the badge on from visiting the man in the prison. I was like, ma'am, mm-mm-mm. So somebody who she used to, be around, I'm thinking it's somebody she went to school with. They call her daughter Nikki calls her aunt something. But anyway, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm not trying to be funny, I'm not trying to be mean. If I'm not mistaken, it was a guy. Especially later on in the episode, they said something in particular about how if you look back in the yearbook, they looked like Urkel or something like that. I guess because they didn't really have style back then. But if I'm not mistaken, I'm almost positive this is a someone who was a part of the LBGT community. So yeah, y'all. So anyway, they came and they're supporting her, and everybody's very happy to see. Like, the person apparently is a mood, y'all. Why? Y'all gonna read me for this? It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Why was Leah's daddy over here playing golf with the dude Dro? Y'all already know Issa Rae's show is about to come back for the last season. The dude that plays Dro. I just ain't never been here. I just ain't never been here for him. I'm not even gonna go into that. And then he's on a show that's coming back next week, y'all. If I'm not mistaken, is he on Games People Play as well, y'all? I just couldn't stand him on there either. But anyway, they made a point to show him, and I'm just like, why y'all be putting it? Okay, anyway, I digress. Everybody lived for him except for me, so let me just go somewhere and sit down. I apologize, my bad. So everybody that is on the property that lives over there in those neck of the woods, that has been the talk of the town as far as Angela being a part of the Franklin family, and they speculating as to whether or not she gold digging and after they money. And a part of the narrative is that Teddy, they daddy, is a deadbeat father. So he was on the golf course over here talking to this man, and then like these two black men roll up on their golf cart, and they basically trying to read him, and he read them back, and then he ended up calling Leah and was like, you need to handle this. I thought you handled the situation with your sister, but it actually ended up amplifying it all pretty much in her favor for the moment. But this happened to picked up her phone and went into another room to discuss something with her father when she actually is in the middle of a therapy session with her husband because he's sick and tired of being sick and tired. Everything revolves around her father. Their marriage is going to pot. And even now, he's just like, do you see what I'm talking about? She just left our counseling session to go talk to her daddy. Like, what we not finna do is this. And I'm like, child, it is what it is. And I mean, I understand that your mama snapped and lost her mind after she found out everything that was going on. Your dad was out here fighting and bopping and had a child on her. And she already had a screw loose anyway, and that just took it all the way out. I get all of that. But your daddy is trash, and you know your daddy trash. So we not going to make it seem like, oh, he was all I had left. I understand that, but you're grown now. You're supposed to leave your family and cleave to your spouse. You have a husband, ma'am. And on the first episode, it seemed like they lived for you. So I'm just like, why are we doing this? So anyway, like, he is just very unhappy. He ain't here for nothing. And I'm like, child, I'm sorry. He a little bit too fine for him to be this upset. And I understand a lot of it has to do with his business not, being what it needs to be anymore, because her father, it's still, everything revolves around her father. Her father had to bail his company out. And ever since then, he's basically been up under, in his mind, it's basically like he is seeing her as his boss, which even though he don't want to see it like that, and she doesn't want him to see it like that. That's what it really is. Because if her daddy was to die right now, she's the next in line. It just is what it is. So anyway, or at least that's the way it is right now, because everything could turn by the end of this show, whenever this show is over with for real. So anyway, they are having a meeting for that little incubator program situation, and everybody's going around the room introducing themselves, and everybody gave really short introductions, like less than 10 seconds. Got to Angela. She was like, hi, y'all. My name is Angela Franklin. I went to Howard, or wherever she went, wherever it is that she said she went. And then she said, but I didn't finish. And, I have my MBA in raising my daughter. And I was just like, and she kept going. And it's like she really was like going down a resume and just reading it off. And I was just like, ma'am. So anyway, Leah even leaned in and was trying to read her or whatever. Like, I get it, but it's like, ma'am, you didn't see the theme that everybody else led with? Like, oh, okay, though. But it is what it is. It was funny because one of the people in there was trying to read her, and her husband, Leah's husband, had to read her and was like, what we not finna do is this, because you got into the program because your aunt called in a favor or something like that. Said it all. I was like, woo, you didn't have to read the helper, did you? You didn't have to read her, did you? So anyway, Angela done made it home. Them people outside her house setting it off. They want to know, like, why are you here? What is going on? Are you here because you want to make the money? You want to take this money from these people? What you want to do? So her daughter is peeking out, and, she's kind of like, wait a minute, what are these cameras doing here? And then they see the daughter, they're like, oh, wait a minute. And so she was like, oh, no, what we're not going to do is this. You do not have permission to take photographs of my child. And then she went on ahead and spoke to the folks to help them understand, like, I am here to stay. I am not here after these raggedy folks' money. We just so happen to be related. The end. Goodbye. Like, I was just like, child, it's sad you got to do them like that, but it is what it is. So then we see the man who, in my mind, I don't even know if this man really is here for Angela or not, because it's like, are you straddling the fence? Like, are you really like invested in working for Teddy to do the dirty work of trying to figure out if, Angela is really out here like that and trying to get these people for their money, which you should be able to tell she's not. Like, she's done the absolute most to try to fit in with these people so that she can fit in just enough to do what she need to do, which is to run a business. Like, what part of that makes you think, oh, she out here to try to steal everybody's money and become the heir to the throne? Child, ain't nobody here for that foolishness. So anyway, him and Leah are playing tennis with one another, and they grew up together, and he had to remind her that she used to try to treat him like he was a peasant too back in the day. And so she was like, I apologize for that. Like, I was young and whatever. And he was like, yeah, it seems pretty much like you're treating your sister the exact same way, but go off though. Child, I'm like, it's sad that a whole nother person on the outside looking in is telling you what everybody else can see. So anyway, Nikki, who y'all know is Angela's daughter, she is on social media and just browsing the internet, and there is so much information and just so much speculation popping up left and right about what her mama is really doing there, what are her true intentions. And now she's like, well, I don't think I want to be the face of Eve's crown anymore because it's just too much. And of course, it's something that's kind of heartbreaking to her mama, but she like, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. Because in her mind, she's like, I'm pretty much trying to do this because this is what my grandmama would want. I don't mind trying to step into her shoes and do what you want her to do. And she was just like, no, do what you feel is best for you. So I'm like, it is what it is. At least she's telling her she has a choice instead of trying to make her do something. Like, now she doesn't feel comfortable with it, so it's like, cool, it is what it is. So then, tell me why this man that came back to her business and uninstalled the cameras. Now, in my mind, like I said earlier, I'm trying to figure out, okay, like, are you doing this because now you feel guilty because you've been out here, you know, allowing for spying to happen to Angela, or what? Like, so they had somewhat of a blow up, and she was just like, I mean, it is what it is. We're going to give each other space. And so he was like, well, I give you all the space you want. Good luck with the rest of the renovations on your place. I was just like, were you supposed to do more work? And now you're saying that because there's going to be space, you can't be professional and just help her do what she was paying you to do? I'm pretty sure you weren't doing any of these renovations for free, because those parts, not parts, y'all. What am I saying? Those materials are not free. All the wood, all the nails, any glue, any fixtures, all the stuff that you put up, including the camera, was not free. So why are we trying to make it seem like this was free labor? You should be able to finish your job. Now, unless he was just talking about decorum and all that stuff, okay. But if you're talking about the job that she hired you to do and you were just like, well, good luck with that. What? But like I said, I'm really struggling and trying to figure out, especially in this moment when he took the camera down, are you taking it down because you feel bad about it? He told her that it was defective and a manufacturer's warranty or something on it, and he had to take it down and return it or whatever. So I'm like, okay. So anyway, Leah gets alerted to the fact that there is a meeting happening. And I'm like, girl, it wasn't no meeting that involved you, but go off though. Because when they were in that meeting prior, when everybody learned of Angela's existence, especially since now she's a part of the program, they told her that, at her opening event, which was going to be like that weekend, that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever day it was going to be on, that was the time that she was going to have to present, a little bit more information, because people still don't know her, despite what she's saying about being there, because she's going to have to be able to be about it and show people that she's about her business, instead of just being like, oh, I got in here. No, you're going to earn your keep. You're going to earn your way into this. It's not going to be just given to you. So she looking like, but I have my party though. And they're like, yeah, you're going to do it there. Leah, of course, is trying to be petty and having her have these projections and these numbers and all this other stuff to present during a party. So that means all week she's going to have to get all this stuff ready. And it's like, girl, you take it away from the party planning. But go off, though. I'm going to need you to understand that everything that you've thrown at her so far hasn't worked. But go off, though. So what she's decided to do is she has found people that live there who have had their struggles and issues within where they work or whatever has happened in their daily lives that has made people be like, you know what? I'm going to embrace my natural hair and whatever. So one person in particular is a judge. She became a judge. Now, before she was a judge, she was there in the courtroom, I think, working her way up to become a judge. And somebody tried her because she had locks at the time. So they tried her so bad that she ended up taking the locks out and throwing relax on her hair. But years after the fact, she was just like, what we're not going to do is this no more. I'm going to live in my truth. I'm going to do what I want to do and be natural. And then she became the judge, and now she do what she want to do. So it's sad that people have to do that, but it is what it is. Like, they really do make you feel like, oh, you got to have your hair straight and you can't wear your afro and you can't wear braids. Braids are just unprofessional. Like, I used to wear my braids. I'm sorry. I used to wear braids when I was a social worker. When I cut my hair, when my hair was relaxed, I had it, and it really, like, this was the shortest it was at that time. And it was everything. Yo, it was, my hair was always cute, whether it was long, short, or medium length to me. At least I've always gotten compliments on it. But yeah, this was my first time it being this short after it being relaxed. And I cut all that off. So yeah, this is the shortest it's been since I was a baby. It's growing. Trust and believe, it's not short anymore. It was short last summer when I first cut it. But it is what it is. So anyway, y'all, I digress. But yeah, she was basically recording these women tell their stories. And so since Leah heard about it, she stormed in on it and was like, okay, what is going on here? And so she was like, I think I have everything I need, whatever. And like, she really came in. And so Leah was like, well, this little, PowerPoint presentation type situation is not going to be enough to prove anything. So Leah ran her in front of everybody and said that she is trying to make a bag. And the way she said it, it seemed like she didn't care about the products. She didn't care about natural hair care. She didn't care about the people. So, because when I looked at now this before it went on to, I was just like, why look like somebody recording? Soon as she walked out the room, the heifer who had the phone in her hand was really recording, handed her the phone, and Leah instantly played it back and showed her saying that she was there to get a bag. I was like, oh no, this heifer done tried it. This heifer really tried it. So anyway, Leah's daughter done rolled up on Nikki and the girl who was her girlfriend while they were probably about to be in the middle of kissing, right? And so she was like, oh, I'm sorry. I guess that's just something I'm going to have to get used to. And she was like, hey, cuz. And I was like, Nikki is so petty sometimes. She a little bit petty, but she get it honest. So it is what it is. So she ended up letting them have their space. And, you could tell the moment was going to happen. Nikki looked like she was in her feelings that the moment didn't happen. And I'm like, okay, are you bi, gay? Are you just tri-curious? Like, what is going on? I know you're still young pretty much, but what is happening? Were you into her in that moment? Is that what happened? So they were talking and she was like, I'm very sorry for how things happened. I'm glad that you dropped the charges and I'm ready to be full out or whatever. And so she was like, that's all I've wanted this entire time. And she was like, I know, it's okay. And then they kissed and I'm like, are y'all supposed to be together now? Like, what is going on? Man, she kissed the heifer and was like, well, you need to be more like your cousin because your cousin is out here happy and free. And I mean, she's dope. Like, you need to be like her. I was like, child, you done went off. You done went off. I would have been feeling some type of way if somebody telling me I need to be like a whole nother heifer. Like, I get it, but that's pressure. That's a lot. That's a lot. So Teddy has been trying to acquire this stadium, right? He already told Leah, be ready tonight because they gonna sign this paperwork tonight. So she was looking like, wait a minute. First of all, I have dinner with my husband and I can't miss it because I'm thinking that this is a part of them trying to get back to where they used to be and all this other stuff. Might be part of their assignment. Ain't no telling. So anyway, he was like, look, I need for you to be there. You gotta do what you gotta do. And so they end up having a meeting, and the man that they met with before, they all having dinner. This man said, why is it that you want to name the stadium after your brother, who was a part of the Black Panthers and all this other stuff? He was like, there was nothing wrong with my brother's involvement in the community, and he was an amazing activist, whatever. And he was just like, yeah, what we're not finna do is that. And I'm all for Black Lives Matter or whatever. And the way he said it was just like, you just tried the only two Black people in the room. What we not finna do is this. So, like he really said it. This man tried it. And I was just like, child, he told them people to cut the music. I was like, wait a minute. I was confused. I was like, okay, are they at their house or where are they? Because Teddy did a little motion and then the person cut off playing the music. And he set it off from them people and was like, yeah, we're not here for this. And then it's funny because his own daughter had to read him pretty much on the slide in front of these white folks, if we gonna say it like that. I'm just saying, y'all know, y'all should know I'm not, like that. I'm just saying, in this moment, they really tried it. But yeah, she had to read him and was like, the only thing they see you good enough to do is be that black face that lines their pockets. And I was like, it is what it is. Well, he over here, and he mad, he done made a little speech, and they act like they done walked off and did something. I'm like, child, y'all is just, I'm tired of everybody at this point. Well, of course she made it to the house, but she's late. Her husband's sitting at the table, the food look like it's cold, and so she's like, oh baby, I'm sorry I'm late. But, I had to do something with that. Girl, he tired of hearing about your daddy. Like, all your conversations is your daddy this and your daddy that. She tired of your daddy. And he's just like, look, he expressed his concerns about how the main problem that they have is her father and how he bailed his company out. And so, again, she's like, well, I understand that you might look at me as your boss, but that's not what it is, whatever. But it is, heifer, but it is. No matter how you want to say that, it is what it is. He was actually in a meeting I think like earlier that day trying to talk to somebody because he wanted them to run him some cash. And so they were like, oh, okay, well, send over the numbers, the projections and all that other stuff. He called somebody and they said something to the effect of, you have no power here. You have no authorization. And so he was looking like, what? When did that happen? So now he had to tell the man, well, I'll send that information over to you when I can, but whatever. But yeah, he ended up asking his wife in this moment what happened with that. And so she's acting as if she doesn't know what, happened. It wouldn't surprise me if she knew why. It is. Her daddy got something to do with it. It is what it is. He cannot have any access. He can't just be like, ooh, let me get access. And then they send the information over anymore. If that ever has been a thing for him to be able to do. He can't do it anymore. And it is what it is. But yeah. Angela tied in her spirit. So she rolled up to Leah's house. And so she's like, girl, it's by the grace of God that you are over there. Like in that chair right there. It's by the grace of God that you're there to be able to sit on your high horse. You know what I'm saying? And she had to read her because she was like, if I were in your position, I would have used every single resource that I had within my hands to actually do something with it. And just instead of just sitting here saying, I am better than y'all. I am this. Like, you would be able to see that I'm doing something for the people. Because y'all know she's obviously upset because this information has hit the internet. This information, them people talking about counsel her and some more because the little video that the person recorded of her is out there. So she mad. And so she read this heifer. She read her because she was just like, I don't understand. You do realize that we can coexist, heifer. Like, we are sisters. It does not have to be like this. I don't understand why you're doing this. And I'm just like, is it gonna ever register though? Is it gonna ever register? Because I'm so sick and tired of her. So now it's the day of the event. Child, it's so dead up in there. The people so mad at Angela that ain't nobody showing up. So the only people who really seem to show up are her family members, that friend who came into town, and the people who want to see her presentation. So her aunt is trying to give her encouragement, and she's reading Leah in the process. And, she's just in her feelings about it. And she was like, it's okay. There are people who I'm on live with. We gonna show it to them. So her aunt is actually letting her know that we're gonna go live. It is what it is. So they talking about the friend is talking to the aunt about somebody who they need to call in an emergency to. And I'm like, who are these people? Okay. But the friend ended up going and talking to Nikki. And so she was like, a lot of stuff is going on with your mama. All of this stuff is crashing and burning. And she encourages her to understand that her mama needs her more than ever, especially after all this stuff happened. Of course, she understands her concerns about everything that everybody is talking about on the internet because it's making her mama look like she is this evil person when she's not. And she's like, I have all this stuff that went on with me this past summer. Like, why should I be the face of it? Like, look what I did. And so she was like, girl, your mama got a lot going on. Your mama ain't even letting that phase her like that. But your mama is going down in flames. She needs you, girl. So she just ended up, like I told y'all earlier, telling her about how she looked like a mess and didn't have nothing going for herself when she was in school looking like Urkel or whatever. I don't know what in the world he had going on, but it is what it is. So her aunt told her she needed to get up there and make a speech. So Angela went up there and she made a speech. And she was like, it is what it is. I have gotten knocked down over and over again. And I have every time gotten up swinging. It is what it is. I'm not here for handouts. All the stuff y'all heard about me is a lie. All the rumors are false. Let's just put it like that. And so the aunt has everybody on live and they are loving what is being said. Then the cavalry comes in. There's like a ball happening, if you will, a whole ball. If you don't know what a ball is, let me inform you slightly of what it is. And if I left out anything, feel free to say something about it. A ball is people who are in the gay community, the LGBT community, who they have a world all of their own that they can go and be themselves. They have categories, they dance, they are dressed to the nines, they have amazing outfits, amazing makeup, amazing hair, big hair. Is outlandish types of situations going. Like, it is a whole mood, at least to me. There are a lot of people who ain't into it, but I am. I love the ballroom scene. Definitely check out Ballroom Throwbacks if you've never seen it. I even watched a gay television series on that called what is it called? Davenport Diaries or something like that. Like, y'all, Triangle. But it's about these, y'all just get into it. Just, I'm telling you, if you ain't got nothing to do. So many people swear ain't nothing on Netflix, ain't nothing on none of these streaming services, and ain't nothing on TV. There's a lot of good content. A lot of good web series out here, and that's one of them. Some of the acting is a mess, but it's still hilarious, and it is still actually very interesting to watch. But I digress. Throwback. I think they go by Throwback Ballroom or something like that. But anyway, just look up Ballroom series and you'll see what I'm talking about. Throwback Ballroom or something like that. Yeah, it's everything. I love it. So anyway, they came in. Everybody is wishing that they were there now that they are on live watching it, because I guess they thought they were going to watch it crash and burn because they was just screaming her praises. Then when this situation unfolded, they were like, cancel her. Child. The father has met up with this man one-on-one with Leia. They read him and was like, how dare you basically try to come at me and try to make it seem like what I had going on in my personal life that came to light is so terrible, when just last year you had a situation that was just like mine, if not worse. So it is what it is. So let me introduce you to something. This is something that Leah didn't even know about, which is that he ended up taking over main ownership of a basketball team. The Boston Tide, I guess is what they're trying to say. His name is going to be on everything in there and all of this. This man is upset. And it's all because of her husband's company, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all let me know in the comment section what that's about. But yeah, she looking crazy because she don't know what's going on. So it's like in the moment as it's happening, she was like, what? And I'm like, yeah, your daddy do what he do. And he was like, I'm sorry, I ain't let you know this, whatever it is, what it is. But at least he did tell her that he has Parkinson's. And then, like, he always says to her, oh, one day all of this will be hers. And I'm like, it is what it is. But he should have told you the game plan. I don't understand, like, who else is she going to talk to about this? It's not like she can go to her husband and discuss any of this. So anyway, as the festivities are going on, the person who came to visit came and brought a bottle of wine to Angela and was like, oh, the guy who had been doing the renovation, the real fine guy, he came and he dropped this off for you. So she was like, hold on, I gotta go run an errand real quick. She went and caught him as he was about to walk back to his vehicle, and she said to him, I don't want to break and all this other stuff. So now they trying to be together, and I'm just like, I just need to know if he's real or not, because I don't like that. I need to know what it is. Well, this heifer, Leah, at the house. She actually beat her husband to the house for once in her life. But you know why? Because he ain't even there. He in New York. But little did she know. She just sat up there. She looking like she ready to start something. She want to be starting something. She want to be starting something. She looked like it. But anyway, looked like all kinds of good stuff need to be playing in the background. And she trying to figure out when he gonna get home, and he was like, I'm not coming home. And I don't know when it's gonna be. It might be tomorrow, like it is what it is. So she looking like, okay. Well, he met up with his ex-wife. And so she's trying to understand why he wants her help. He only wants her help because he wants dirt on her daddy, and he only trusts her outside of his wife and them. So since he can't trust the wife to deliver, he done rolled up on the ex-wife, and the ex-wife is going to help unearth some things. Anyway, that's the end of the episode. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the recap review of Our People, Our Kind of People. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you're not done so. I'll see y'all later.